if we're not laughing, like we're not going out on a second date, you know, like, cause like part of my humor is like a little like gentle bullying, never anything mean, but like, a little funny, like a little funny fun. And you can do the same back to me, like gentle, always kind, but like a little like,
a little gentle bullying. Yes. Is that in your Hinge profile? I like a little gentle bullying.
My love language is a little gentle bullying.
Lovely you.
This is Coco at Eligible In, your host for today. We have on our show Chelsey. She's 32. She's from New York City, or she's living in New York City, and she is a merchandiser at a high-end fashion brand. Welcome to the show, Chelsey.
Thank you.
So yeah, we're gonna talk dating tea, because we know there's lots of it out there. Are you from New York City originally?
So I was born in New York City, actually, but doesn't count because I don't remember it. And then I was in Florida until I was in kindergarten, and then I moved to New Jersey, which is the most underrated state in the U.S. So fight me on it. That is my talking point. Okay. So I grew up in Jersey. Then I went to school in Indiana, and now I'm back on the East Coast.
Love that. I also love your New Jersey hot take.
Oh my gosh, yeah, no, like people are like,
I've never heard anybody say that.
Oh my gosh, no, the passion is there. Like we have everything.
I actually I have an uncle, and he now lives in Maryland with his family, but they lived in New Jersey for a time. Northern New Jersey. Yes. I don't remember where, but it was very beautiful. Yeah, from what I remember.
Like Jersey is beautiful, and everybody like doesn't think that because they like come into like like I don't know where they're going, but it is beautiful, and we have beautiful beaches, and we have lovely mountains. I mean, they're small mountains, they're nice mountains.
I didn't know that New Jersey had mountains of any kind.
Well, I mean, they're not big mountains. Like I'm just like talking it up, I'm just.
Okay. They're giant hills.
They're large hills.
Rolling hills.
And they like, overlook things. And it's really enjoyable.
They overlook things. Listen, New Jersey government needs to get you on on one of those
like, send me
state advertisements immediately.
Let's go. Yeah, like the boardwalk on the Jersey Shore, and amazing food here. So,
okay.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, I'll have to check out New Jersey.
Yeah, please come.
How long have you been living back in New York City?
So I'm technically in Jersey City. I don't want to lie to the people.
Oh, okay. All right. Here we go.
Everybody's already like, sign out. No, but I've been here for 8 years, and I work in Manhattan. And I love it. Like, it's so fun, like just being in this environment and like going out with friends here. And like, I love being in Jersey City and being, close proximity to Manhattan. It's just like the best place to meet people.
How far is it from Manhattan?
So Jersey City is like connected by the Path. And the Path train goes into World Trade Center, and like from my stop to World Trade Center, it's like 8 minutes. Yeah, it's super close.
Wow. Yeah. All right. Yeah, I was thinking like, a cute little 20-30 minute ferry across my geography of all of that is yeah, it's obviously I don't know much about that area.
That's because you're coming to visit me. So we're just gonna like go and have fun. You and I are gonna go out on town. We're gonna have a great time.
Yeah. We're actually going to have a part 2 interview, and it's going to be in person in the middle of Manhattan.
Yes, exactly. She's going to test me on like how quick that Path ride is.
She said 8 minutes, so stopwatch is going to be on.
I think that's right. I think that's a good choice. Now, I'm referencing the closest stops. So, I am lying. She's off to a great start. She's lying. She's New Jersey.
She's told a lot of half-truths in an attempt to really build up New Jersey.
Yeah.
So we can't really fault her for that. We'll call that a pink flag.
Thank you. Thank you. We'll get into the reds in the second episode.
Yeah. Oh no, we'll be getting into those in the first. So how has the dating scene been in the Manhattan metropolitan area? Is it better or worse than anywhere else that you've lived? What's it like?
So I find the dating here to be like, I've had so much fun. Like, it's actually been awesome. Like, I feel like the people that you meet here, like, are like, I don't know, like, everybody's been like really kind of wonderful. Like, even the bad dates, I'm like, I can talk to a wall. So it's like, not that hard to like get through and like have a nice meal or have a nice drink, and it's fun. And like, there's definitely something about New York where I think you can tell right away, like, I'm going to have fun with this person. It's like, in like what they're suggesting to do, like there's this restaurant, I want to try it, or there's this museum and like, it's right here, or like, just the ideas, even like, okay, we're going to go meet up like in a park, and like, there's like beautiful places to be. And just in like that, like having so many things at your fingertips, like, I can feel like I can really tell when I'm going to vibe with somebody, like on what they suggest to do. Cause like, there's so much fun to be had, like, so if you're just going to be like, oh, like, like if the vibe's not there, you can tell the vibe's not there. So I'm having
let's go for coffee.
Yeah. Like, I love coffee. I do.
Right.
But
when you have not one, but 5 boroughs. You also have like Jersey, like you have surrounding there truly is. I didn't even think about that. Like there truly is like endless possibilities.
So much fun. And like, I mean, there's also like great like hotel bars here. So I've had like some really great dates where like we go to a hotel bar and then like down the street for like, like dinner. And then like, if you're still having fun, you're like, oh, let's go to another bar. Like somewhere's always open. Like it's just like maximizing the amount of fun on dating. Like, love that. Like just like always something to do. So, and like, I don't want to discredit the people that I'm going on dates with too. Like there's literally so many fun people in the New York area, like so many fun people. You just got to meet them. You got to find them. They got to find me, actually.
Right. Exactly. That's the mindset to have. Do you typically use the apps for dating, or do you run into people in person? What is that like?
So I have done the apps because the apps, I'm literally only on Hinge. I like don't have time to figure out a second app. I'm like, what?
Right. No, it's
Bumble's
too much work.
better. I'm like, okay, but I've set up Hinge. Like Hinge is.
But like this one is already good to go.
And it seems to work. So I don't know. But so I've been doing the apps and they're fine. I mean, like a lot of my friends are not single. So I have a couple single friends and I don't have any single guy friends that are here. So like, who am I going to meet? And I mean, like, could I go out and try and meet somebody in the real world? Like, of course I could. I probably should. But those apps are at your fingertips. And I don't know if that's a good thing. I don't know if that's a good thing. Because
there are definitely pros and cons.
Yeah. Like, you go out with people and you're like, you're solely relying on that they're going to be the same in text as they are in person. And like, sometimes it translates and sometimes it doesn't.
Yeah. It's it can definitely be difficult for a lot of reasons. Now I'm just like reminiscing on my time on the apps. And not in a good way.
I know, I feel like so many people are like, I hate this.
There is one app that I have recently had actually probably the best experience I've ever had on a dating app. I do have to say, you're the first person that I've personally interviewed that has had pretty great things to say about dating so far.
Yeah,
I feel like everybody is like, oh God, the apps, which, I get.
yeah,
But I'm glad that you've been at least having like fun and good experiences for the most
for the
part.
most part, yeah. I mean, I do feel like it's like, I don't know, if you're not going to go and have fun, like, what's the point? Like,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Give it a couple months. Maybe I'll be like, oh, this sucks. Like, I hate this. But like,
Is this your first time being
this
on
is
the
my
apps, or like first time
first time. Well,
ever?
yeah, because so, we do a little pre-talk, but like I am newly single.
Yes, yes, yes.
So so this is like my first time dating as a 30-year-old. And you know what? I gotta recommend, like, love dating in your 30s. So much better than dating in your 20s. Like,
Oh
not
my
that I
God,
would
so
really
much
know,
better.
but like ladies, if you're listening, like date older. Like date older. Date, like, I'm 32, like 35. I went on a couple of days with like a 40-year-old, lovely person. Like had a great
Yes.
time. Not discrediting any of the younger guys, but like I don't know.
Mm.
I'm having more success with the older dudes.
Yeah, I mean, the thing I've learned is that it really the age does matter in certain things. Like if you're dating somebody who's, I don't know, 25, I'm also 32, right? Like those are two like completely
Totally
different
different.
life stages, and sometimes that works and sometimes it's like you're on a path that I've already
Yeah.
done, and like I don't have the time and energy as a 32-year-old to like go on that path with
No.
you. But the thing I've really learned is, especially with men, is that like the emotional maturity is really what makes or breaks a guy, because they could be 45
Yeah.
and have the emotional maturity of a sixth grader.
100%. 100 million%. Like, absolutely.
Yeah. I cannot believe this is that's
I know that's
wild.
much
I
fun.
don't know. I
Yeah,
see
I'm like,
now.
it's still new.
It's the bright-eyed optimism before. Okay, I got it. I got it
A few
now.
months
Yeah,
in.
let's
We're a
follow
few
up in a
months
couple
in
months and
though.
see.
So like I feel like it's okay. But whatever. But I also like I turn it off, I turn it off every once in a while so that like, you're just like, let me like take a break from this. And then
Yes.
when you log back on, you're like, oh, it's fun again. You don't do it if you don't feel good.
Yeah. I'm guessing that's also a reason that you're doing this interview with Eligible In, is just like opening up all the options
Yeah.
to
Well,
you.
and I also feel like as I re-enter, like re-enter is not the right word. Like
Re-enter society.
someone
We're in Bridgerton.
love season 3. No, I was like, I like now I put my foot in my mouth. No, but like as I'm coming into this new phase of life, I'm like,
Yeah.
if there's an opportunity, like I'm gonna do it. Like whatever. Like whereas maybe when I was younger, like I'd be like, oh my gosh, like I'm so embarrassed. Like I'm not gonna go on a dating podcast. Like that's so like crazy. But like now I'm like,
Sure.
oh, like Chris said it to me, and I was like, well, that sounds fun. Like that sounds so fun.
Right?
So
We have a lot of fun here.
yeah, like I'm in it for the plot. Like we're just trucking
She's doing
along.
it. She's doing it for the plot, and I love
Yeah.
that. Okay, so I really want to quickly go back to, because you were talking about like all the fun dates and like opportunities for fun dates in New York City. What's like the most memorable best date you've been on, or most creative, most memorable?
Okay, so this is actually very funny because it's like maybe not one of the spots that I would put on my New York thing. So I matched with somebody on Hinge and they had a prompt that said like it was like, what was the worst date that you've ever been on? And he was like, we went to Chili's. It was some story about going to Chili's. And I and I responded back And I said something like, well, Chili's is great with the right person, which I stand by, you know, like there's a time and a place for Chili's. Like we're not
Right.
haters.
Exactly.
And you know, we like got to talking and like, you know, there's some great like jokes in there. And we were talking about like, oh, we're going to Chili's. And then he was like, you know where I really want to go? I really want to go to Tommy Bahama. There's a Tommy Bahama bar in Manhattan. And he's like, I'm joking, but I'm also kind of not joking. Like, I do want to know. And I was like, we're going. Like, we're going to the Tommy Bahamas bar.
I love that. I love that.
And it was like really cute. And he was lovely and wonderful. And we had a great time. And we went on a few more dates after that. But like, it was so fun that like we were able to make this joke. And then he was like, it would be really, he was like, I can take you somewhere nicer. And we did go to plenty of nice places. But like, that was so fun because it was just like two people willing to be silly and like go do this thing that he actually kind of did want to go check it out.
Right,
So,
right. With and listen, it was great with the right person.
It was great with the right person. And like, you know, the next day he was so cute. He was like, I told my brother about like, you know, that this girl was like willing to like have fun and go to like Tommy Bahamas with me. And I was like, oh, like, yeah, you're right. I am cool.
I love that.
So that was
That's
cute.
so
I mean,
cute.
maybe not one of those like New York spots, but I think it just speaks to like if you're yourself and like you're doing something that like you think is silly and fun and you're willing to like find somebody to go with you, like that's how you have fun. And you know if you have fun together because you're doing something that like you like.
100%. Yeah. I think it's really important in life in general, but especially in dating, especially in this time of dating, to not take yourself too seriously. Like, obviously, have standards and, like, you know, all those things, know what you want, or, you know, be honest about like figuring out what you want, but like, don't take yourself so seriously. Like, it does not. There are a lot of terrible things going on in the world. The last thing we need is to add one.
Absolutely not. Like, sorry. No, thank you.
Is that something that like is a sense of humor or like that like being able to laugh at yourself, is that important to you in a partner?
Oh my gosh, like 100%. Like it's, if we're not laughing, like we're not going out on a second date, you know, like, cause like you know, part of my humor is like a little like gentle bullying, never anything mean, but like, you know, a little funny, like a little funny fun. And you can do the same back to me, like gentle, always kind, but like a little like, you know, like,
a little gentle bullying. Yes. Is that in your Hinge profile? I like a little gentle bullying.
My love language is a little gentle bullying. No, but I'm going to change it after we.
Yeah, I wanna hear if anybody responds to that.
It's like such a good one. No, one of my prompts that I'm very proud of is, you know, it says, to me, relaxation is, and I said, to me, relaxation is putting 100% heart, but 0% knowledge into a new hobby and then never doing that hobby ever again. I love good ones on that because like people are like, oh, what are your hobbies? I'm like, well, let me list them.
Right. All the ones I've done one time. So what are those hobbies?
I recently refinished a desk, and I was really proud of that.
Okay. Yeah.
DIY queen. I love to, I'm like very into like thrifting for my apartment right now, like trying to find little treasures. Other things that I do, I love to bake, and I'm not bad at it. It's like I made like a very good cake, but like again, it's like I make one cake a year, you know, and I'm never making that cake ever again. And it's like you know, it's not from a box. Like I make the recipe, I make the icing, I order like you know the little like pieces to go on top. Like I'm like and then for a year I don't do it. Like.
Right. The annual cake is done.
And it's like a different flavor each time. So it's not like I like mastered one. Like I'm just like really hoping that it turns out the night before.
Right. Is it around a certain time every year, or is it just like whenever you're like, I'm feeling that I need to bake a cake?
It's for my sister's birthday. So like, so it's the same time every year, but it's always, I always ask myself, why am I doing this? Like, why can't I be normal and like order a cake?
Yeah, how does the sister feel about
I mean,
the
it's a
cake?
great cake. The one that I made, so I made this cake 2 years ago that was a pistachio cake. And like, I never made anything with pistachios before. I was like sitting there grounding the pistachios, like I'm trying to like
Right.
weigh out so that every layer is like the same, you know.
Oh my
I'm
God.
borrowing my friend's pans. I ordered my own pans. So at least I have that now.
Right. Leveled up in the
I
baking.
like made the like chocolate icing the second year and I was like, this is nothing. This is not icing. Ran to the store the morning of. It's always chaotic. But then somebody said, "Where did you buy this cake?" And I was like, I made it.
I made it.
Made that.
I love that. And that makes
It worth it. That makes it worth it. You know, but then my other hobbies, like, you know, I don't know, like I really like, I'm like, oh, I'm going to get really into crocheting. I'm going to get really into reading. I'm going to get really into like needlepoint, I think was a thing for me for like we're always like tinkering, crafting, doing something.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. You mentioned sister. Do you have any other siblings?
yeah, so I have 2 sisters. Yeah,
Okay.
and we're all really close. So that's nice. And my family is all nearby. And I'm really close with my extended family too. So that's something that's super important to me.
Yeah. Are they is it both your immediate and your extended family are all
Yeah, pretty
in the New York, New Jersey area?
Pretty much. So I have family in Long Island. I have some family in Connecticut, and then I have like one aunt and cousin that are in North Carolina, where my grandma is too, actually.
Okay.
But like we still see them like really very regularly, and like we have all like great relationships with them. But it's a lot of the tri-state area.
Yeah.
So get with me, guys. You'll come see it already.
Right. Yeah, our I'm sure, does that make the holidays chaotic? Is it just like 30 plus people, or do you kind of
So it's really, really nice the holidays, I would say. Like, so my family is Italian, so we celebrate Christmas Eve. And so like for Christmas Eve, we'll go to my dad's side of the family and it's like, you know, a lot of us in a very small space and it always ends up being like a lot of food and Santa actually comes to our home every year. He emerges from the basement and he gives the children toys.
Not emerges from the basement.
Well, actually, technically, he goes around the back and then he comes through the side door and he comes in and he makes a special stop at our house and he gives presents.
Oh, great. Yeah. From emerging from the basement. Yes. That's where he has to come in from. But
the garage door is open, so he just figured like I'll go that way. I'll park the sled down there, and then like I'll come up.
Yeah, never mind the roof.
No,
that's overrated. We're parking in the basement.
Yeah, like
with all the.
We're a little cold. They want it to be like undercover, so they come in. Right. But then we end up at my mom's side of the family the next day. Like, so after our Christmas morning, like we go to my mom's side of the family and like, it's a very long 48 hours, but it's lovely. It's so fun.
I love that. Do you guys, also gather? I'm assuming gathering for Thanksgiving as well.
Yeah. Like every holiday is like, we're somewhere, with family. And it's really nice because both my mom and my dad's side of the family like are very close. So it's just a good time.
Yeah. Is that, well, you mentioned that family is very important to you. Is that kind of like, I don't know, I guess a deal breaker if somebody's like, no, I don't really want to.
I mean, you can hate your family, you just got to love mine. No, that's a terrible joke. That's a terrible joke. I think it says something about a person when they're close with their family. Like, it's nice. It's enjoyable. Like, it's something that I like to be around my family. And like, my family is the kind of family that will welcome you into their family. And I think if you haven't experienced that, like, maybe you're not really as understanding of like, okay, like we have this Sunday free and we're going to go and see our family, like when you grow up and that's important to you, then it continues
Sure.
to be important to you. Now, that being said, maybe that's something you've never had and you're really seeking it in your life. Like, it's not a
For
deal
sure.
breaker, but you just have to understand like the importance of family. Like, you make time for your partner, you make time for your family, and you make time for your partner's family. Like, that's important.
Right. Yeah, for sure. What are some other things that are important to you in a partner? It can be physical, non-physical.
Hmm. Ooh. Describe your perfect partner. What are some things that are important to me? So, I mean, we already touched on being very funny. You have to be very funny.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah, make me
yeah,
laugh.
like I, we,
Like make me
yeah,
specifically
yeah,
laugh.
like you can think that you're funny, but if you're not funny to me, then like it's
Right.
not going to work out.
Yeah.
Um, I think some other things that are important to me are like, you just can't, I'm going to do what every guy does on his dating profile. He's like, don't take life too seriously. So I'm not going to say that, but I am going to say like, you do have to roll with the punches a little bit, like if
Mm.
something comes up, of course it's going to be stressful and you need to like be able to lean on your partner, but like, like the world can't end. Like we have to be able to like, like be able to, this isn't my best answer. This isn't my best answer.
That's okay. Like you have to be able to like problem
Yeah, you have to be
solve
able to
and
problem solve and you have to be able to like, like we can panic. We love to panic,
right.
but we also need to be able to like have a level head and like move on from it.
Sure.
But some other things that I look for in a partner, just like, I mean, I keep on touching on like just like having fun, like wanting to go out and like try new places and try new things. Um, but like also being able to stay at home and being okay with that.
Mm-hmm.
Like everything in moderation, like it's
Yeah, I was gonna say a
to
nice
stay
balance of
in.
everything.
But I guess I don't really like have like a list of criteria that I'm like, this person needs to like fill all of these criteria. Like you just need to be confident. You just need to be funny. Like whatever you're doing for a job, like be good at it, like if like it doesn't matter
Mm.
what you're doing, but if you're good at it and you enjoy it and like, like you're in your right place, like that is always like such like I always enjoy hanging out with those people that are just like feeling good
Mm.
about where they are in life. Like that, I think to me is like awesome. Like, especially for me right now, like I could be like, I'm single and like I didn't think I'd be single at 32 and like kind of like starting over. And like, let me tell you, I am happy as could be. Like, if you're coming in, like you're icing, like, and I would love for you to
Yeah.
be icing. So if I find somebody who their life is also like very full and happy and they're just looking for somebody to enjoy that with, like A plus, chef's kiss, like, let's go.
Yeah. I love that analogy, the icing. I want you to be
Yeah.
icing. Because I feel like that's such a big conversation in like dating and partnership is like I feel like I don't know if you feel this way, but I feel like we were kind of sold this like the Disney princess, like I need somebody
Yeah.
to save me or
Yeah.
complete me or whatever. And it's like, no, I don't need anybody to complete me. I am a complete
Yeah.
human. Um and of course that took time to like grow
Of
into.
course.
I think once you're in your 30s, you know so much more about who you are,
Yeah.
which makes you so much more confident. But it's like, no, I want somebody to just like, yeah, be the icing, like
Yeah.
be something or not something, but be someone that enhances my
Exactly.
life.
Like that's it. That's exactly it. Is like you have to enhance it. Like the second that you're like not having fun or not feeling comfortable or like you're emotional, like you're not feeling like emotionally safe, like if you can't rely on this person or you can't like it's
Mm,
just not worth it. Like what is good about that, like
right.
it's I mean, yeah.
Yeah, it's like everybody has their moments, but it's like if you literally can't live your life without, you know, having to rely on somebody else or
Yeah.
like um you get I don't know. I mean, like, I understand like the like insecurity of it all. Like, again, like people have, everybody has those moments, but it's like, if you live there, I don't want somebody who lives there.
Yeah.
Like if you happen to like end up there and like visit for a minute, like it happens, but like, please don't, I don't want you to live in Insecurityville.
Totally. 100%. Like we just got to walk around with insane confidence, fake it till you make it. And then like one day you get there. And like, I think, you know, just going back to like some things that like you were asking about, like are important. Like, I do think it's important that the partner that you're with also like has like if you're the kind of person that has a lot of friends, which like I am, I do think it's important that your partner also has a lot of friends, you know, because like you're going to want to go out and do things with your friends. And it's nice when they go out and do things with their friends.
Yeah.
I think that is important. Like it says something. And you know, what's funny is that I do with a lot of my girlfriends that are really social, like I am, like if you say like, oh, like his friends, like they're like green flag, like friends. It's
truly,
I mean, it's like, you know, some people like they don't need a lot of people around them, and that's fine. That's totally okay. But like, if you're that way, you want somebody that also has a lot of people around them.
Listen, you're the one who mentioned red flags. You've mentioned green flags, you've mentioned red flags. So let's get into it. This is a question I always love to ask is like, what are green, red, and pink flags that you look for in other people? And then what are green, red, and pink flags that someone would look for in you?
Oh. Okay. I mean, I feel like I touched on the green flags. Green flags, you gotta be funny. You gotta have banter. You gotta keep up. Right. You gotta have confidence. Right. Like, you know, you gotta be happy. You gotta be full. Red flags. I mean, we did kind of touch on, like, I do think, like, I mean, you know, red flag when you see it deep down, like in your gut, you know?
Deep down. Sometimes you're
like, oh, maybe bargain. Not, maybe not.
Like, yeah, it's like, oh, you try to excuse it away, and then you're like, oh, I should have listened to my gut.
That wasn't great. Yeah. I mean, come on, like, well, a Republican is a red flag for me.
Listen, period. Undesirable number one.
Like, sorry, guys. You're out.
Yeah. All right. If you're a Republican, swipe left.
Sorry.
And we'll be okay with that.
Stop listening, you know, like nothing but, you know, sorry.
Don't be, honestly, they don't deserve your apology. It's fine.
They don't. So we're not going to get along. So what's the point?
Right.
Other red flags. I mean, yeah, I mean, I feel like, you know, red flag when you see it, but like, if you're just like,
what are some of your like personal red flags?
Okay. So my like, personal red flags are like, if I'm the center of your attention, like I just like, and everything is being going to me. Like I can't be everything to you. Like that is a red flag to me.
Almost like love bombing.
A little bit. Yeah. Like for sure. Like it's lovely to be told how lovely you are. Like for sure. Like you're like, thank you so much. But like, you know, we gotta like, to me, it's a little bit of a red flag. I'm like, it's okay. Like I know it's okay.
What do you mean? I'm funny and amazing? That's crazy. I've never heard or thought that.
Man, I should have thought of like some really good funny red flags. Pink flag, having a pet. I just don't want one.
Okay. I'm just kidding. That's another hot take I wasn't expecting.
I'm just kidding. You can have a pet. I just want that pet to stay at your home.
That's fair. Are there any like are you all
listen,
pets?
actually, I think this is why it's pink, because, you know, like I love for you that you have a dog, especially like a grown man with a dog that he wants to take care of. Like, so cute, so hot. Like, truly, I went on a date with a lovely man and he was like, I love this dog so much. And I was like, I love that you love this dog. I'm enjoying meeting this dog. I want to go home after this and not live with this dog.
Does that pink flag then become a red? Like, hypothetically, if you met somebody and you were going to move in together and they had a pet,
yeah, the pet can come. The pet can come. I like the pet. I don't want the responsibility of the pet. Like, I feel like I have a lot going on, and I love that pet. I love to pet that pet. I love, my sisters are going to die if they ever hear this. They're going to be like, Chelsey, like, why would you say that? You had dogs your whole life. You like them. Like, you like them.
No, but it's a lot. It's essentially like having a child. Yeah, it's a lot. Like, it's a lot of responsibility.
A lot of responsibility. And like, I have done that and I don't care to do it right now. Like, maybe when I'm older and I like don't like, but if I'm gonna like travel, I'm gonna be like, okay, let's get a dog sitter. Like, you can get the dog sitter. That sounds great. I did also think of my red flag, actually. This is my true red flag. I stand by the Republicans. Those are red flags, but a bigger red flag for me is when somebody is like, I want to move to the suburbs. I don't want that. I want it for them if that's what makes them happy. I just like won't be joining you.
I feel that red flag, honestly. I really do.
I have to be able to walk down the street to get a cup of coffee. Like,
yeah. Like, I love taking it back, coming full circle to Chili's. I love that suburbia has the Chili's and the Olive Gardens. And I'll take a little trip to the suburbs. I don't want to live there.
No, I don't want to live there. I did that recently for about like 6 months. And I did not enjoy it. I did not have a good time. You tell me like, oh, you have to get in a car and you have to drive 20 minutes to like Target. And I'm like, I won't do that. And then, you know, living here, like I don't have a car here because I don't really need it. And, you know, living here, I'm like, oh, the Target is like a 25-minute walk. And then I have to schlep everything back. I'm like, that sounds better to me. Taking that 25-minute walk and putting all those bags onto my person than getting in a car for 20 minutes. Like,
is it because you just don't like driving, or?
I don't know. I really don't know.
Okay.
I mean, I just don't enjoy it. I'm not a great driver, so that probably is part of it. Like, I'm always lost, and then it's like 20 minutes extra.
Sure. Yeah.
But I don't know. It's a little bit of I just enjoy my little walk, somebody was trying to convince me once. They were like, but like, you know, you could like live in the suburbs and like things could be easier. And I'm like, what if I like things to be difficult? What if I like my little space and I don't have that much stuff in it? And when I do, I cram it in different spaces. What if I enjoy that? Like, what if that's how I want to live?
Well, there's just so much more surrounded. There's just so much more life.
There's a lot of life
to be had.
And there's a lot of different kind of people, you know, like you're just like, you're always going to meet somebody new. And like, it's like such a wonderful place to be, like that and also you can't convince me that the commute is easy. The commute is hard enough from Jersey City. Like, let's be real. Like you're dating in New York and people are like, oh, you're in Jersey City. Like, you're going to come into the city, right? I'm like, yeah, you're also going to come here. Don't you worry. It's not that bad.
Right.
And like, you have people that are commuting from like the suburbs and they're like, oh, it's only like, you know, a 35-minute train. I'm like, yeah, 35-minute train. And then you get on the subway and then you walk from the subway to your office. Like, don't.
Right. It's actually like 45 to an hour.
Like, so it's like I was doing a 2-hour commute from the suburbs some days, and that was
there and
so I was
back.
In Westchester. I was in Westchester, and like by the time you drive the 10 minutes to the train station, the train itself was like sometimes an hour, sometimes less because they have those like speedy trains, whatever. And then I had to like go to the subway. And then my office was not super close and not really near great public transportation. Like, so it ended up being like 2 hours door to door. It was crazy.
That's a lot.
So like your girl can't commute. I can sit in the car for like if the trip that we're going on is like 6 hours or less, like we are driving, we're not taking a plane, but you asked me to commute and you asked me to drive 20 minutes to Target, like I'm not doing that.
Okay, any other red or pink flags?
No, I think that people are gonna riot when they hear that the dog is a flag. It's a pink flag. It's a beige. It's not
The
even
pink
pink, it's like
flag.
beige. It doesn't really
Okay,
matter, but
beige flag. It is a
it's a
flag,
flag that's
but
waving. Your dog is welcome into our relationship. You just have to take 100% ownership.
that's right. I mean, you're very clear about the stipulations.
Yeah,
So.
I love that dog. The dog can sit on the couch, but I'm not.
Right, that's a big
But
deal. I'm not walking
it. It can come on a walk with me that I'm already going on.
My walk was already planned.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
work around the dog's schedule. The dog has to work around my schedule.
Please.
Okay, so then what are some, flipping it back on you, what are some green, red, and pink and or beige flags about yourself?
Green flags, I mean, like, I think I'm funny. So my red flag is that I think I'm funny, you know? Like,
I don't know. We've laughed a lot. I think I can attest that it's a green flag.
Okay, my red flags are that I'm probably never going to be on time. Once upon a time I was, and now I don't know what's happened to me, but I'm never going to be on time. I will be like 5 to 10 minutes late. I'll always let you know, but I will be about 5 to 10 minutes late, unless I'm like 20 minutes early. There is no in between. So there's that.
Sure.
My other red flags are that I won't walk your dog for sure. She's
not walking the damn dog.
Like, she's doing that joke too many times. And then, you know, like, I'm not the most organized person. I will always leave this home and then I will come back in and I will be like, I forgot my shoes. I forgot my purse. My sunglasses are in a different bag. Where is my wallet? Nothing is ever found anywhere, you know?
This is why she's 5 to 10
minutes. This is why I'm 5 to 10 minutes.
She has to go back home and find her
literally,
shoes.
Like, I had a doctor's appointment the other day and I was like, I don't have my insurance card. So I turned right back around and instead of walking, I took an Uber. So everything will just be like a little bit chaotic, just like all the time. So if you can't handle chaos, look elsewhere. Because it's abundant here in this home.
Yes.
So that's my red flag. And then my pink flag is that my kitchen cabinet is actually pink. It is literally, I've painted the cabinet bright pink. So I warn people when I come over. I said,
wait,
yeah, genuinely. That. It's like, it's called Embroidery Rose is the color. So you can go look it up. Or maybe it's called Rose Embroidery, one or the other. But yeah, it's bright pink. So,
and it's just the kitchen cabinets.
It's just the kitchen cabinets. And like, that's the vibe. The vibe is like you're entering into a girly space. So
I love
Thank you.
I love pink. It's one of my favorite colors. So I'm totally into it.
I love pink. I mean, I wear a lot of black, so I don't think people are like super like putting two and two together when they walk into my home. Like that, like maybe like we're not like the closest of friends. So I have it as a warning. The warning when you come to my apartment is my cabinets are pink. There is always music playing. And then my third is that I'm still moving in. So things are still all over the place.
So who nominated you to be on Eligible In?
So my friend Chris nominated me. And
Chris is one of our producers.
Yeah,
so.
Chris. Thanks, Chris.
And how do you know Chris?
So Chris and I were roommates in college, and Chris and I lived in a 8-person house.
Crazy.
Wow, it was
That's
so
actually
fun.
insane.
And the way, so I'm going to tell this story, and Chris, maybe cut it out. But so we'll this is the moment where you hear Chris's voice come in. So we lived in this 8-person house, and there's 2 things that happened when I met Chris. So when I met Chris, I had no idea I was living in an 8-person house. Like, it was the year before, and I was like subletting from our other friend. So this girl comes up to me at a party, and she goes, "Hey, like, you're Chelsey, right?" And I was like, "Yeah." And she was like, "These are your roommates." And I was like, "What?"
Oh my God.
It was like Chris and our friend, I think it was Chris and Joe. And she was like, "Do you not know you're living in an 8-person house?" Like, I thought I was living with one other person, because our friend Shannon like forgot to mention, like, it's a massive house with a bunch of people. And I had
You just forgot to mention that?
Or maybe I wasn't listening. Who knows? But I had not a singular clue. I think she just said, like, my roommate Michael is going on study abroad.
Right.
I was going on study abroad. Like, you guys should switch out the rooms. I didn't ask how many rooms. I didn't ask how many people.
Right.
I just knew I had a place to live, which is pretty par for the course for me. And Chris and I became very fast friends after a party where it was my first night in the house. I didn't really know everybody that well. And I ended up getting violently ill after a party. Violently ill. And
as you do
in college, like, I can hold my liquor now, but at the time, remember, I'm like nervous. I'm in a new house. I'm trying to make friends. Chris came to my rescue. He was the only roommate that answered their phone that night. And I'm going to leave some of the details of that story out to preserve my dignity. But Chris definitely came to my rescue, and we've been fast friends ever since. So adore him.
There's nothing like holding somebody's hair back while they vomit to really bond, solidify.
I barely know you. Please help me.
Love that. Yeah. That's incredible. All right. Well, Chelsey, it's been such a pleasure getting to know you, talking to you, laughing with you. So thank you for being on Eligible In. I'm so excited for everybody to get to know you.
Oh my gosh, thanks. I had so much fun. This was great.
Thanks for listening to Eligible In, a production of Eligible In Media. Our theme song is by Monster Rally. If you see someone you like on our show, or if you would like to nominate yourself or someone you love to be interviewed by us, please visit us at eligiblein.com for more information, including a link to subscribe to our newsletter, where you can stay up to date on our newest episodes, as well as exclusive features of our eligible people. Lovely.